Right, live to Pyongyang, where you see Kim Jong-un speaking, addressing 150,000 people gathered at the stadium. Let's listen to him.
My North Korean fellow citizens here. President Moon Jae-in and myself have been able to make another accomplishment today that will be an important milestone in the history of South and North Korea in the future. This is a precious another step that we have taken. The passion and enthusiasm of South Korean President Moon Jae-in deserves a deep respect from myself and North Koreans. Fellow North Korean citizens here, why don't you take an opportunity to give a great round of applause again to President Moon Jae-in. President Moon Jae-in, in commemoration of his historical visit to Pyongyang. And it's my pleasure to announce that President Moon Jae-in is going to deliver a speech in front of the great audience of North Korean citizens here today. This moment, right now and here, will be remembered beautifully and gloriously in our history for many years to come. Why don't we give a huge welcome to South Korean President Moon Jae-in? Pyongyang citizens, fellow brothers and sisters who live in North Korea, it is my great pleasure to meet my fellow North Korean citizens here in Pyongyang. As the President of South Korea, with the welcome invitation and welcome of the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, I'm here standing in front of my fellow North Korean citizens to deliver a speech. It is my great pleasure and honor, and I think this shows what kind of difference we are making to the history of North and South Korea, and we are seeing the beginning of a new era right now as I speak. Mr. Kim Jong-un and myself had a meeting in Panmunjom back in April, and we had an opportunity to share warm hugs between ourselves. And we promised to ourselves that there would be no more war, no more violence on the South Korean peninsula. We made that stern and firm declaration to the entire world and to the entire communities. Not only that, the destiny of Korean people would be in the hands of Korean people, and that was the ownership of the fate principle that we were able to declare and announce to the world when we first met a couple months ago. North and South Korean relationship would need to be changed fundamentally and profoundly so that we can connect the bloodlines of the two Koreas. And we also committed ourselves to bringing a new era where the fate of our people would be in the hands of our own people. This autumn, myself, Moon Jae-in, as the President of South Korea, has come to visit Pyongyang. Pyongyang citizens and my beloved fellow North and South Koreans, today Chairman Kim Jong-un and myself expressed our determination again, and also we agreed on detailed and specific procedures that we would be taking to bring an end to the era of violence on the Korean Peninsula. Also, from Paektu Mountain all the way down to Halla Mountain, beautiful Korean landscape and the nature will be protected from the dangers and the violence of nuclear weapons and other types of weapons, so that we can pass down this beautiful Korean nature to our descendants for many, many years to come. Not only that, before it becomes too late, the pains of the separated families will be put an end, and we promised to take specific actions to bring their reunion back on the path for the new fate of the Korean people and for the bright future of the Korean Peninsula. Chairman Kim Jong-un and myself have been working together, and I think Chairman Kim Jong-un truly deserves our round of applause and our deep respect for his passion and enthusiasm. Pyongyang citizens, my fellow Koreans, during this visit, I have been able to see the development of North Korea, the achievement of North Korea's development, and I have been able to see for myself and feel very deeply about the kind of future that the North Korean people want to have. And I had an opportunity to see the desperation and to feel the urge of North Korean people to build their future, build their good future. And I've seen the courage, I've seen their determination. Pyongyang citizens and my fellow Koreans, Korean people are great. We are strong people. Korean people love peace, and we have to live together. For 5,000 years, we used to live together, and we've been separated only for 70 years. Today, right now and here, I can say that we are going to take big steps for the future where we can live peacefully, just like we used to do 5,000 years ago. Chairman Kim Jong-un and myself again are going to hold hands in hands with South and North Korean people to go toward the bright future, to build our better future from now. And let's walk together in their journey. A lot of Pyongyang citizens, young students, and children from Pyongyang welcomed me and my delegation with great care and great respect. Once again, I want to take this opportunity to say big thank you and express my sincere gratitude for the welcoming gestures that you have shown today. Thank you very much again.
So there you see President Moon Jae-in of South Korea addressing what is a record crowd of North Koreans. I'm told for the first time that a South Korean leader has addressed this number of North Koreans in Pyongyang and May Day Stadium on the event of the mass games this is day two, the end of day two of this historic summit. Historic is a word that's often used, but I think it's really appropriate in this particular instance. Rob McBride is our correspondent who's been monitoring this entire visit from South Korea, from the South Korean capital. And Rob, as I say, we're talking, aren't we, about this being history in the making, and it really, really has been big in terms of the symbolism and the gestures.
Yeah, it's worth, Martine, just taking a moment just to realise what this is. This is the mass games in the May Day Stadium in Pyongyang. It is hugely symbolic. It involves tens of thousands of people, weeks of preparation to set up with this mass displays of synchronised gymnastics, turning of cards to create these huge pictures in the stands of the stadium. There's often, with these events, very patriotic overtones. It's a way of showing devotion for the North Korea, for the party and the family that runs the country, and it's very rare for a South Korean president to attend. They have in the past. It's often a very controversial thing for them to do, to actually speak at an event like this. This never happens. So this really is unprecedented territory, and it is an incredible way to round off what has been yet another incredible day. As you said, they've had this agreement. We know that it's lacking in a certain amount of detail. As some critics would say, it's a lot of showmanship and theatre with very little substance. But this is an incredible way to round off that day. With Moon Jae-in, you could actually hear the emotion in his voice. He is from, Martine, a family of North Korean refugees that came to the South during the Korean War. And so he has more than a little connection with the people he is addressing. But he spoke there about how his agreement today with Chairman Kim, what it spells is that there will be no more war. That is the promise, he says, that he and Kim has made to the world. He talks about a future Korea that will be determined. Its destiny shall be shaped by Koreans themselves. Talking about a new era on the peninsula, that Koreans love peace, he says, and that they will go forward together. And then also talking about the beauty of the countryside, the whole length of the Korean peninsula, and saying slightly obliquely that it should never be damaged by nuclear weapons. That is a kind of a vague reference to denuclearization without getting into too much troublesome detail, but certainly very extraordinary scenes that we've been seeing this Wednesday evening from Pyongyang.
Indeed, I mean, it almost brings to mind the 10 years earlier, of course, the Sunshine Policy that eventually yielded very little. The big question for President Moon will be, what can he take home to Seoul in terms of definitive pledges, at least, and then evidence of commitment to future action with regard to getting rid of the nuclear program.
That is always going to be the problem. It has disappointed a number of observers who were watching, looking for details in this. And as we've been saying throughout the day, there haven't been the kind of details, no kind of timelines or firm commitments, not even just a simple inventory of saying what missiles North Korea actually holds, let alone actually giving any of them up. They simply haven't done any of that. But this visit continues. This was day two. Day three, Thursday, was meant to be simply a few more photo opportunities, a couple of visits, then a send-off, and then Moon would be coming back. Now we hear he is off to Mount Petku. Let me just explain. This is a hugely symbolic volcanic mountain in the north of Korea, on the border between North Korea and China. It has a huge symbolism. It is almost a religious significance, and that most Koreans will want to visit it at some time. Moon mentioned to Kim months ago that he would like to go to Mount Petku. Well, he's going there Thursday morning. They will round off this extraordinary visit by a trip to this mountain before Moon comes back to Seoul. It's a very quick turnaround because next week he goes to the UN General Assembly, where on the sidelines of that he'll be meeting with President Trump, when of course he has to try to sell all this to the Americans. Martine?
All right, Rob, thank you for that. Rob McBride is our correspondent in the South Korean capital, Seoul, monitoring all of those historic events taking place just up the road in Pyongyang.